The screams and pleas for help are coming from Helen Cadman. It's 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning and she's just been put in an arm lock by armed police. She thinks they smashed the electric gates to her Warwickshire home on the way in and are subjecting her to a terrifying ordeal. Her crime? Training her labradors in her paddock using a dummy launcher.
I came across the lawn, and as I came past the block of kennels, you can see my gates from the block of kennels, and the gates were open. I couldn't understand why they were open. And then all of a sudden, the dogs just ran across to the driveway and started running up the drive. And obviously my instant decision was, oh my God, they're going to get out the gate, they're going to get on the road. So as I turned round, there was two men completely dressed in black. They had face masks on. I could only see their eyes. They'd got rifles, they got guns, and they were pointing them at me. And I thought, oh my God, this is a burglary, it's an armed burglary. I don't know. And I didn't know what to do. I still wouldn't know what to do if it happened again. And I just froze. The dogs were everywhere. I just didn't know what to do.
While the sound captured from her farm security system is hard to understand clearly, an armed police officer can be heard shouting at her to calm down. You can see Helen here, still in her nightdress. An officer holding an automatic is just out of the picture on the left of your screen. The police say a 999 call alerted them to 10 gunshots being fired. They tell Helen they're also investigating someone being shot. Helen has done nothing wrong. She doesn't even own a firearm, just a standard dummy launcher which uses .22 blanks to fire a canvas dummy in the air for a gun dog to retrieve.
The one that was approaching me, as he got closer to me, I saw he'd got a radio, and I saw he didn't have shiny buttons, but he didn't have his numbers on him to recognise him as a police officer. I'd walked a few steps, it wasn't that many steps, and he came up and dragged me back, and he got hold of me, and he grabbed my arm and was pulling me and pulling me and pulling me. And I told him, no, you know, and he was saying, get your dogs in, get your dogs in. And I thought, oh, I'm going to the caravan to get the dogs in. And I said, I'm trying to go and you're stopping me. You're stopping me from going to get my dogs in. And the more he was shouting, get your dogs in, his eyes were going wilder and wilder. He was not in control. And I was absolutely scared. Sorry. I just wanted to get my dog safe. So he was grabbing me, and then as he grabbed me, he pulled me back and further back away from the caravan. And as we got back, he turned, and then he was pushing me and pushing me back, and he'd got my arm, and it was twisted in such a way that I was starting to hit the floor.
It seems the root of the incident is a malicious phone call from someone with an axe to grind. Helen and her husband Mark are at the centre of it. Her granddaughter Astin is watching through a window as the officers eventually realise it's a mistake. Mark tries to tell the lead officer to calm down.
Calm down. There is no need to be stressed. I'm not. You are. I'm trying to tell you, we are
here. He explained then, because I said, what's going on? He said that somebody had made a 999 call. Said that 10 rounds had been discharged and a person had been shot, and that they were there to save me. And I said, well, if you're trying to save me and the way that you're behaving, you're really not saving me.
Since this happened, Helen admits she's been struggling. Physically, she suffered some minor injuries, including whiplash. She believes that happened when she was pulled across the compound by one of the officers as he was demanding she got her dogs under control. One of the dogs, in panic mode, also bit her on the leg. There's also damage to the electric front gates of the small holding, which she and Mark have been told will cost £8,500 to repair. It's the mental scars, she says, have caused her the most damage though, with the torment causing her sleepless nights.
It's when I think about it, I haven't slept for 2 nights because the gates can't be locked. We've had the gate man here, it's £8,500 just to get the gates fixed, but he can't come till next week. So I'm having to, you know, the kennels are outside. I need to know that my dogs are safe. The doctor, I went to the doctor yesterday. She turned around and said, like, you're going through trauma. She's given me some very light sedatives because I said I don't want to be knocked out. I don't want anything like that. She went and checked my arm and my neck, and she said I've got whiplash. So that's all. Thank you very much to the people who're supposed to save me, that were standing there telling me they're saving me. From what?
Helen received a verbal apology from one of the officers at the scene. A female superintendent contacted her to offer a home visit. She's now taking legal advice and is planning a formal complaint. Warwickshire Police has asked its firearms inspector to review the incident after Fieldsports News contacted the force. We'll let you know what they have to say.